my Marie Curie Fellowship actually started in 1962, and it started here. This is the Youth Library of Haarlem, and Haarlem is named after Haarlem in the Netherlands. And it started there because there was a shelf with books, but it was the side with the books for the boys. And apart from that, it was on the shelf for 10 years and older. So, well, I was a girl, so wrong side of the library, and I was 8. So what to do? There is a real good solution to this, namely read the book on the spot. And it goes like this, out of view of the librarian. It also means you need to go there every day to keep reading and hoping that not someone's going to borrow that book. But so I read a book on the spot. And I read also other books from that series. It was a series about the great discoverers. I'll show you the book. This was the book. It's translated from English, by the way, and it's a children's book. Nowadays, we would say it's 100% plagiarism because it's almost verbally an abstract from the book of Eve Curie about Marie Curie. So, but it's famous. So I also read a book about Louis Pasteur, Robert Koch, Walter Reed, all in standing in the library. But Marie Curie, and I don't know whether it was because she was a woman, but for some reasons that stuck with me, and it stuck with me for the rest of my life. Her discovery, the way the idea, something was missing in theory, and she searched for it. Something had to be there. Yeah, it was radioactivity, it was radiation. And she didn't give up until she found it, and she worked together with her husband on it. And that really, it accompanied me over my life. So, of course, the question is, well, then I did go and study physics and chemistry and biology. No, I did not. And so I did not study chemistry, physics, or biology, or mathematics. And I'm still trying to catch up, and I get sort of remedial teaching now from computational biologists at Harvard, at our institute at Harvard University. And my high school career actually was a disaster. It was a total disaster. I saw my reports recently, and I thought, well, you know, someone must have believed in me. And apparently, it were my parents sort of believed in me, although they spent a fortune on extra lessons in mathematics, which did not work out. And they supported me as they had supported me in the youth library, where they at some point took my card, and because I could not read so many books that would be impossible, I would not read them, so my mother had to show up, and so on. So I really had big support from my parents. And so my first acknowledgement, really, dank jullie wel, pa, ma, should be to my parents, wherever they are now. So after my high school, which I graduated from high school with some effort, I went on to study philosophy in Tibetan. And I did it in Germany. So I went for the first time out of my own country. I'm from the Netherlands. I went to Germany, which is a big difference, to study philosophy as a major and Tibetan language and culture as a minor. And those studies, they may seem strange, but it is not really so strange. Philosophy is about books. It is about words, and it is about science. In the Tibetan grammar, by the way, there is some very special feature to it, which may have made it sort of attractive to study that. So it's not a world of the experiments like Marie Curie did in her laboratory, but it is the world of the words, and we are putting words together for us humans. These signs are actually the codes that carry meaning. And of course, that is a very philosophical topic. And we construct, we analyze, and we translate the meaning of those signs in language, in ideas, in philosophy. And what we see now at the very roots of the genomic sciences and the computer sciences, where they have their interface. Actually, the same is happening with almost the same entities. So dreams and ideals live on, and idols too. So every now and then, when I heard Marie Curie, always the memory came back, and it was a strong motivation, even if that may sound strange. It had at that age made such a deep impression that it never went away. Well, for the pursuit of knowledge, it's also something that goes on, and it's never too late. So in 2012, and it was 50 years after I read a book in the library, I got awarded a Marie Curie International Outgoing Fellowship. It was, by the way, the first time I thought I might be useful to apply for a grant. And so it was very nice that I got it. And this grant really has allowed me to go to discover knowledge, to go abroad, to go really at the frontiers of the biosciences at the Church Lab at Harvard Medical School. And my research question actually connects both my passion and my professional background. This is my project. It's called Systems, Network, Norms. But as all of you may know, while doing the research, you're sort of moving and developing also gradually. My research question is, given the progress in genomic sciences specifically, what are the changes in ethics, or what we would say in normative theory, philosophy and normative theory? So I will just give you one keyword to explain this. So I will not go into the details of this rather abstract research. And the keyword is molecularization. It's my use of molecularization. There is the term was coined, by the way, by Nicholas Rose of London School of Economics in another sense, in the sense of bioeconomies, biocapitalism. That's not what I mean. I mean the biosciences, used it in a biosciences way. And that captures actually molecularization, as I found so far in my research, really captures the developments that are going on and that do have an impact on the humanities, on concepts in philosophy that always have built upon empirical assumptions that now turn out to be different, and we see them because we can look at the level of the molecules. These are actually these are bases. It's a real picture of molecules under some very ultra sequence. That's why they have different colors. It's the different bases, and they are seen under a special microscope, of course, all at the same time. And I'm doing my work in the lab as a philosopher. I am in the lab. So I'm more or less, one could say, I'm on site. I'm thinking in situ, which sort of, well, the people in the lab know that. I'm an accepted member of the team. I share responsibility because being a member of the biosciences team means that even if I'm from a different background, I can not say that it's not also my work that's going on there. And that is something that, as I know the people in the Church Lab, could be communicated already over many years, and it's extremely valuable. And I do not know too many colleagues who are in the same position. And I think I feel that I need to be ready to take the responsibility for what's being developed there. So molecularization also stands for construction, analysis, and translation, and it's of the code of life of the molecular program. The molecular programming, by the way, which is one of the focuses is at Caltech, it comes from the computer sciences and is actually at that interface between the in silico computer sciences and, say, the physical wet-based genomic sciences. So I just give you one example of what's going on currently in what under molecularization. That's genome editing. It's the cutting of, very precise cutting of genomic material of genomes. It's also pasting other parts in or changing the parts. And with that, we change the trait and we change the genotype. So what is coming out in the end, and what we, at this moment, it's so early on we cannot see it at the moment we cut and paste, but it becomes visible once you have changed the organism. So this is, of course, a real big experiment, and it's a significant step forward in our empirical world. And that raises, of course, the questions about meaning and interpretation, the responsibility for our actions. One example, it has been in New York Times very recently, the CRISPR-Cas9 technology that is a biological phenomenon. It was known in bacteria, in the immune system of bacteria. It is taken out of that context, and it turns out to be, probably because it's of natural origin, it turns to be applicable to anything living, and we're only at the beginning of working on that. So Marie Curie was invited to visit America, and I read about it in the book I showed you before. There is a steamship on the page about the trip to America, and well, I arrived by plane. But my Marie Curie Fellowship really enabled me to travel over here to America, to live here, to work here, to learn at Harvard for 2 whole years. And I enjoy every minute of it and every day. And yeah, I am living my dream. And the story goes on because there is a new book. Another book. I brought it. If any one of you wants to see it afterwards, ask me. It's from a great artist who's living somewhere here around the corner. And it's one of the most comprehensive books, I think, now at this moment about giving the whole picture of being a scientist in a society, the book about Marie Curie. And look at this one. Philosophers always use words, as you can see. The book is called Radioactive Marie and Pierre Curie, A Tale of Love and Fallout. And she got a prize for it, and it was here in the New York Public Library. And they lived. What she says, that's a quote from Marie Curie. We lived in a preoccupation as complete as that of a dream. And I think it is their dream to go and discover knowledge. And we should live our dreams, and you should live your dreams. It's possible, and I think maybe you did the math. You got a point at what time in my life I got a career development grant. And yes, I'm just at the start. So this is going to be continued for a long time, I hope. And I thank, of course, the European Commission for awarding me the grant. So thank you.